Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Now, you should have recently watched my last video about is handwriting dead, or has the digital world just taken over and it's no longer relevant? If you haven't watched that video, go back and watch that first and then come back to this one, because in this video I'm going to be speaking to those of you who are on the side of the coin that argues that handwriting is still relevant. And because you feel that handwriting is still important and it's still relevant even in today's digital world, you want to make sure that your child has the appropriate skills in order to master handwriting. And so in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 different strategies to help improve and boost your child's handwriting. And guess what? None of these strategies have to do with actual pen to paper practicing, repetition with writing over and over and over again. So strategy number 1 is to address your child's upper body strength and their overall postural control. Now, if your child is one that is very weak, or they have weak shoulder stability, or they're always hunched and their posture is bad, it's going to be a lot harder for them to have very nice handwriting, because their gross motor skills or their upper body strength, their core strength, just their gross motor skills in general really need to be intact before you can really focus on that fine motor component of things. And so you want to have your child to start to engage in a variety of gross motor skills that is going to help boost their strength and their core and improve their posture. So some of those things that you may want to help your child engage in include the following. You may want to help your child to engage in things such as obstacle courses, animal walks, climbing, balance activities, playing at the playground, and even wheelbarrow walking. All of these things are going to help with their child's shoulder stability, their core strength, their endurance, and just their upper body strength in general. And all of these skills are definitely necessary in order to improve your child's handwriting. Moving along to foundational strategy number 2, I want to highly recommend that you help your child to engage in multi-sensory play. Now, a lot of times when people hear sensory, they automatically just think about touch. But sensory is so much more than just the tactile system. Sensory is how we move, how we balance, how we engage in heavy work or activities that require our muscles and joints to really work. It involves, of course, it does involve the tactile piece where we're touching and playing with different textures, but it does also involve things such as music and smell and taste and all of that. And so some ideas that I have for you in order to help improve your child's handwriting is to make sure they are engaging in multi-sensory play. So you can have them engage in movement-based activities such as bouncing on an exercise ball or climbing fun equipment. You can have your child to engage in heavy work. So heavy work, like I said, is anything where their muscles are involved. So you can have them loading the laundry basket and pushing it around the house. You could have them helping you to load and unload clothes in and out of the washer and dryer. You can have them to help you put canned goods into a cabinet. You can have them help you push the grocery cart at the grocery store, or you can even have them wipe the tables or play with Play-Doh or putty, things that are going to really work their muscles. This is also going to help to build up that strength component as well. You want to have them exploring different textures with their hands, because when they're holding markers or pens or pencils, you want them to be comfortable with knowing how much pressure and how much force they need to use when operating and manipulating those different types of writing tools. And so having them to engage with things such as shaving cream and painting, and like I said, Play-Doh and putty and sensory bins with rice and beans and rocks and dirt, all of that is going to give their bodies a lot of input and a lot of information that in the long run is also going to help with those handwriting skills. And don't forget music. A lot of times we forget how important music is. So music or singing songs, especially those that can help your child to remember certain things about handwriting. So you can sing songs like something like that. I can't sing, but you know what I mean, right? So singing songs to really engage and capture their memory and capture their attention is a very nice sensory strategy, but it also can really help with that memory component and help them with their handwriting skill. The third foundational handwriting strategy is fine motor play. Now, this is going to be so important because your child needs to really build up their fine motor strength, their fine motor endurance, their dexterity, their manipulation, their precision, their grasping. There are so many different components and categories when it comes to fine motor skills, and this is going to be so important for handwriting. So some examples of fine motor play that you can get your child to engage in are things such as stringing beads, playing with different tools and utensils such as tongs and tweezers. You can have them manipulating and peeling stickers or peeling oranges. You can have them engaging with Legos or building blocks or pulling objects apart or pushing them together. So all of these things are going to help build up those fine motor skills, which are definitely necessary for handwriting. The next foundational strategy for handwriting is going to be vision. Now, vision is one that can be overlooked, but it is one that is one of the most important, obviously, because if you can't see, how are you gonna write, right? And so, but it's not just all about seeing 20/20, it's about different components of vision as well. So things like fixation. So basically that means that your child needs to be able to fixate or look at their paper in order to understand and comprehend what they're writing. As they're writing, they need to be able to visually track, which means move their eyes from left to right, up and down, diagonal. They need to be able to move their eyes in different directions in order to complete handwriting. Even when, let's say, for example, the teacher is writing something on the smartboard or the chalkboard or whatever they use nowadays, the child or the teacher is writing something in front of the classroom and the child has to copy it on their paper. The child needs to be able to move their eyes from the board back to the paper, write it down, look up again, visually track where the teacher left off or where they left off, take note of that, and then write down the rest of the sentence or the word or whatever they're writing. So that visual component as far as tracking and fixation and even their eyes going in and out, which is like convergence, is so important because your eyes are kind of wide or looking out when you're looking at something from afar. But when you're looking at something closer, such as handwriting on your paper, your eyes kind of have to cross and come together, not cross, but your eyes have to come together at a central point. You also want to make sure your child's eye muscles are moving appropriately. So can they look at something from afar, but as it gets closer and closer, their eyes start to come in? That is another skill that your child must have in order to improve and make progress with their handwriting. Also, visual perception. So your child needs to look at the board and look at a letter and perceive that this is a letter and perceive what type of letter is this and perceive, is this letter big? Is this letter small? Is this letter upside down? Is this letter flipped to the left or flipped to the right? There's a lot that goes on with our vision. And so foundationally speaking, your child needs to have intact visual skills as well as visual motor skills, visual perception skills in order to improve their handwriting. So just a couple of examples that you can use, or a couple of fun games and activities to work on. You can do things like batting a balloon, right? Batting a balloon up in the air. When you're bouncing it, your eyes are darting and finding it and tracking it, and all of that is helping your eyes to move back and forth. Or you can even play like a scavenger hunt where you have things hidden around the room or even things hidden on a piece of paper in front of them, and they have to visually scan and visually track where that object is. All of those things are gonna really help exercise those eye muscles and get them moving in the ways that is needed for handwriting. So number 5 is not necessarily a strategy that your child can implement, but it's more so like some strategies that you can provide for your child if they need a little bit more support. So when it comes to handwriting, think about the type of paper that you're using. Think about the lines on the paper. Are you providing them paper that has 2 lines or 3 lines? Are you providing them paper that has thick bold lines or small dotted lines? So think about the type of paper that you're using when you're going to be working with your child. Think about the grip on the child's pencil. So if your child is having a really hard time with holding their pencil in a way that allows them to write efficiently and allows them to write in a way that's not painful for them, If they're having trouble with that, you may want to look into different types of pencil grips for them. And I'll leave the link below to a few different pencil grips in case this is something that you feel like your child can benefit from. Also, think about visual prompts. Do you need to put a sticker at the top of their page to remind them where to start their letters? Do you need to highlight the line to remind them that the letter has to touch the highlighted part of the line? Think about these extra visual supports that may come into handy when your child is handwriting. So with that being said, I hope that you guys take into consideration all 5 of these strategies when it comes to helping to promote your child's handwriting skills. Think about fine motor, think about multisensory, think about gross motor and upper body strength, think about vision, and think about external strategies and supports that your child may use. If you have any further questions about handwriting or other ways to improve your child's handwriting or any specific questions related to that, please don't hesitate to leave those questions or comments down below. And like I said earlier, if you have not gone back and watched the video about the argument between is handwriting even relevant anymore because we're in this digital world, make sure you go watch that video as well. I'll also link that one below. All right, guys, till next time, bye.